welcome to the watch list. I'm Lindsay Melchuk. Osisko Development has announced an optimized feasibility study for their permitted Cariboo gold project with $943 million Canadian after tax. Now, there is a lot to unpack here, and to do so, we have Roosen, founder, chairman, and CEO of Osisko Development. Hello, Sean. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Lindsay, and shout out to all your long listening investors. We're starting it has some history with us, Osisko Group.
So let's firstly maybe you can give us a brief history behind the Osisko Group and really what your role in it is.
Certainly. I'm Bob Wares, John Brzezinski, and myself are the co-founders of Osisko. I was the CEO and chairman of Osisko One, which was the Canadian Malartic mine, now Canada's largest gold mine, sold to Agnico in 2014. Also the founding CEO and chairman of Osisko Gold Royalties, about a $6 billion royalty company now. And founder of Osisko Development here with the Cariboo Gold Project as our flagship in central BC. So we've been doing this for a hot minute, if you will. And this is one that's got us very excited, and we're going pretty hard here. We've drilled about 700,000 meters into this project and invested about $700 million. We currently have our full mining permit for 5,000 ton a day mine. It'll produce about 200,000 ounces a year for the first 5 years. And it's quite a lead asset. There's nothing else really in BC at this level that's fully permitted, shovel ready to go. And we're starting construction here in June. And we believe that it's going to be about a $650 million US mine build. It should be online in 2027 with first full year of production in 2028. So it'll be Canada's next big gold mine. What's interesting about this project is the history behind it. This belt was discovered in 1858 in the classic Cariboo, Barkerville gold area. It's on the BC Gold Trail. We acquired the project in 2015, and doing what we always do as brownfield specialists, we went in, drilled it, looked at the geology, and interpreted it to be slightly different from what everybody thought it was, and set about to prove that point with 700,000 meters of drilling. Currently trading at a market cap of about 350 million Canadian, or about 250 US. About $100 million in the bank at the beginning of the year, about 75 million now, and continuing down the trail to project financing. And I think, as we get closer in, this is a big project. There's 4.4 kilometers of strike length that we've drilled off only to a depth of 350 meters. And we ended up with 2 million ounces of reserves at 3.6 grams and another 3.5 million ounces of measured and indicated of 1.65 and another inferred of 1.8 for a total of about 3.5. So it's a pretty big deposit, and it's relatively shallow, and it's only the start of this day. We've done more geology. We have another 10 kilometers of strike length identified. We've averaged 1.2 million ounces per kilometer of strike length down to a depth of 350. We've drilled this thing down to a depth of 1,000 meters. We know it continues at depth. We just wanted to get the first mine up and going. We have announced our plant, very simple gold recovery. This thing's got 47% of the gold comes out in the gravity circuit, and the rest just comes out in straight flotation. So no complex metallurgy, no real environmental liability issues in terms of acid generation or anything. And it's a very clean mine. From a metallurgical material, the electricity material, we'll be shipping gold doré as well as a gold concentrate that has about 133 grams a ton of value, which is about $13,000 a ton at today's value. So it's a pretty important project for BC, a very important project for Osisko Development. And I think that shareholders should have a look at it if they want a near-term development story that's in their portfolio. We've seen quite a bit of M&A in our space, so that's obviously part of the backdrop of the consolidation of the gold industry. We've seen Agnico's now over $75 billion of market cap, and we know them well. We sold them Canadian Malartic. And a few other companies have been, acquiring things slowly. But the valuation of the producers and the difference between the developers is quite significant right now. I've never seen the gap break so big. So there's a big valuation by transitioning to producer that we think is going to occur within the next 24 months. And certainly the exploration drill bit has been kind to us over the years. We've had over 140 million ounces of discoveries, and we continue to drill on this one as we get further into the story.
Well, sounds like you have a lot in the pipeline. Now, what are just some key highlight takeaways that investors can expect in the coming quarters?
The big catalyst will be the announcement of the project financing in the near term, the beginning of construction, and further drill results from the underground as we test do the conversion work from the measured and indicated and the inferred categories into the reserves. As I say, all the economics we see today are based just on 2 million ounces. We have significantly more of that in the measured and indicated and inferred categories. So that'll be the low hanging fruit that sort of keeps adding value. The on strike exploration into the area that we call Proserpine. There's another 10 kilometers of these vein corridors that we identified in the first 4.4 kilometers, so a total of 14.4 kilometers. That's continuing to evolve. This is a major brownfield camp, typical to our style. We also sold the Windfall Lake project in Quebec in November of last year under the banner of Osisko, Osisko Mining 2. We sold that to Goldfields for $2.2 billion. So we've had, the Osisko name's been good for us, and we've had quite a few runs on this, and a lot of people are familiar with the Osisko brand. So this is our big project of focus right now.
Well, sounds very exciting. Congratulations on all of that, and definitely come back and tell us more soon.
Absolutely. ODV on the TSX and ODV on the New York Stock Exchange. One of the things about us is we trade about 2/3 of our volume in the US. So it is a highly liquid stock with a slightly different shareholder base than you would see in companies of this size. Good luck with your investing, and really appreciate the time.
Again, that was Sean Roosen, founder, chairman, and CEO of Osisko Development. Their website is osiskodevelopment.com. And be sure to bookmark stockhouse.com for all of your market news. I'm Lindsay Melchek. We will see you soon.